Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander nets 35 as Thunder hold off Warriors. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander made his team's only 2 field goals of the final 8:25 to cap a 35-point performance. Isaiah Hartenstein recorded a third consecutive double-double, and the Oklahoma City Thunder outlasted the Stephen Curry-less Golden State Warriors 105-101 in San Francisco on Wednesday night. Hartenstein finished with 14 points and a game-high 14 rebounds for the Thunder, who managed a third straight win despite losing Jalen Williams to an eye injury late in the first half. With Curry watching from the bench as he dealt with sore knees, the Warriors got a team-high 19 points from Jonathan Kuminga and double-figure scoring from 5 others, but couldn't escape a third straight defeat. After seeing a 19-point lead disappear into a 94-93 deficit on a three-pointer by the Warriors' Buddy Hield with 8:14 remaining, the Thunder turned to the league's #1 defense and the scoring of Gilgeous-Alexander, who hit a three-pointer to produce a tie with 4:11 to play and another with 1:25 left that gave Oklahoma City a 100-96 lead with 1:25 left. Golden State got within 102-101 with 11.1 seconds remaining on an Andrew Wiggins three-pointer, but Alexander made one free throw with 7.7 seconds left and Lou Dort blocked a Wiggins runner that could have tied the score with 3.4 seconds to go. Gilgeous-Alexander added 2 clinching free throws, completing his 7th 30-point outing of the season that he complemented with 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks. The Thunder standout shot 13 for 28, helping the visitors outshoot the Warriors 45.9% to 35.7%. Neither team did well from three-point range, Golden State going 16 for 50, 32%, and Oklahoma City 11 for 37, 29.7%. Isaiah Joe chipped in with 17 points and Williams 13 along with 7 assists, 6 rebounds and 2 steals in 16 minutes before getting poked in the eye on a Kuminga drive to the hoop. Draymond Green notched a double-double with 10 points, a team-high 13 rebounds, a game-high tying 7 assists and 2 blocks for the Warriors. Hield had 17 points, Wiggins 16, Brandon Podziemski 12 to go with 8 rebounds and 5 assists, and Kyle Anderson 10 points. On the Warriors rediscovering their defensive mojo while running out of offensive juice against the Thunder. While the Golden State Warriors may have come into their game against the Oklahoma City Thunder undefeated without Stephen Curry playing a single minute, the numbers with him off the floor have told a quite telling, and all too familiar, story. In 783 non-garbage time possessions, the Warriors have scored a measly 105.7 points per 100 possessions without Curry on the floor. That would be the equivalent of the 28th ranked offense in the NBA, per Cleaning the Glass. This has been a testament to the problem they have had since time immemorial, the lack of a serviceable scorer behind Curry to act as a ballast whenever he's on the bench, or more importantly whenever he has to miss games. That story was no different tonight against the Thunder, which meant that the only way the Warriors had a shot of winning against such an elite team with an elite defense, first in the league in opponent points per 100 possessions, and an elite shot creator in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was to lock down in the half-court and generate plenty of transition possessions. That was proving to be a tough task to start the game, where in the first quarter the Thunder were able to hang 39 points to the Warriors' 23. Those 39 points allowed translated to a ghastly 150 points per 100 possessions. The good news is that after allowing 39 points in the first quarter, the Warriors were able to hold the Thunder to just 66 points in the subsequent 3 quarters. They were able to trim down the points allowed per 100 possessions figure to 104 points per 100 possessions by the end of the game, equivalent to the best defense in the league, tied with the Thunder's own points allowed per 100 possessions figure this season. A switch was flipped on the defensive end in the form of diversified coverages, increased energy, and a sense of urgency fueled perhaps by the loss of their superstar. This possession below at the 8:26 mark of the third quarter seemed otherwise nondescript, but the tenor of the Warriors' defense in the second half changed with Jerry Stackhouse throwing a changeup, full-court ball pressure flowing into a 2-3 zone in the half-court. Stackhouse pushed the right buttons and his players responded with effort and execution after 2 games where their defense fell apart in the second halves. This was perhaps most evident in how they defended in scramble situations where they had to be in rotation. The Thunder, good for moving the ball around and creating good looks for everyone on the floor, saw their windows being shut down near instantaneously. The golden equation for the Warriors this season, especially with this version without Curry, was to get stops, run in transition, and create offense against a non-set defense, one that has had plenty of success this season whenever they do get set in the half-court, 84.8 points allowed per 100 half-court possessions. Warriors push for $56 million versatile 3 and D wing, report. The Warriors have their eyes on versatile 3 and D wing Dorian Finney-Smith of the Brooklyn Nets, Anthony Irwin of Clutch Points reports. The Warriors reached out to Dorian Finney-Smith last year and have been in constant contact with the Nets about him, Irwin said during the November 25 episode of The X Show with his guest, Bleacher Report and People Insider. The Stein Line's Jake Irwin added that Finney-Smith is a more realistic trade target for the Warriors than Cam Johnson, who the Nets value highly. Cam Johnson is another name that comes to mind. But his asking price is kind of hard for the Warriors to match, said Irwin. Finney-Smith's versatility on defense, especially on the perimeter, is what the Warriors' current roster is lacking. Much better offensive lineman, who has very limited range. The Nets' 6'1" wing is shooting 41% from three-point range, making 2.3 three-pointers per game. Nets forward Jordi Fernandez has been deploying Finney-Smith as a small ball center, especially in lineups with Ben Simmons. Finney-Smith could give the Warriors coach options in his rotations. But he can also have Finney-Smith playing small ball center in lineups. The 220-pound Finney-Smith is strong enough to defend power forwards and centers, and agile enough to defend perimeter players. Finney-Smith has 2 years remaining on his 4-year, $55.5 million player option. He could become an unrestricted free agent after this season if he declines to pick up his $15.4 million player option for next season. The Lakers have D'Angelo Russell's $18.6 million contract expiring as salary collateral in the trade. The trade will ultimately come down to what draft capital the Lakers are willing to attach to him. They have 2 future first-round picks, 2029 and 2031, 3 pick swaps, 2026, 2028 and 2030, and 5 second-round picks through 2031 at their disposal to improve their current roster. Another bargaining chip for the Lakers is Jalen Hood-Schifino's expiring contract after they didn't pick up the 3rd-year option on his rookie deal. Hood-Schifino, taken 17th overall in last year's NBA draft, didn't have the opportunity to develop with the Lakers. Hood-Schifino will likely be involved in any negotiations between Finney and Smith, as the Nets are one of 3 teams that have expressed interest in him in the past, according to Fisher in a separate live stream on Bleacher Report on November 2. He will play in the G League this year and will have plenty of opportunities to prove himself both in the G League in general and in the G League Showcase when the full league descends on Orlando in December, Fisher said. Atlanta had interest in him in that conversation with DeJounte Murray last year. Utah, I believe, expressed interest in him, as far as I know, in those conversations about Walker Kessler. Brooklyn, I'm told, is a team that has interest in him. So keep an eye on Jalen Hood-Schifino as a potential salary cap deal. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Dorian Finney? Leave your opinion in the comments.